Yeah.
Now we are.
Well,
the broadcast is live.
It said we were live, but then it didn't say we were live. So because I just got an error message from Facebook.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what happened. So I hit go live, but all right. So let's do this. Let's do the intro stuff.
And then all right, go ahead. Go do it.
All right. Good morning, everybody. So we were live, but we weren't live. So what I said didn't make
We were live, but we weren't live. We were live, but we weren't live.
We were live on StreamYard, but we weren't broadcasting.
Okay, good. So that's a good thing. So, anyways,
so everybody, welcome to the show. Hey, this is like Seinfeld. We do things however we want around here.
I know.
So we brought with that. Okay, wait a minute. We got to assign characters.
Oh no,
you're Seinfeld. So that
I am.
Yeah.
Well, that's weird, but okay.
I'm George. I think I'm George.
Yeah, my whole life people said I was like, well, no, not my whole life, but
well, actually, in full disclosure, that we've got 3 Georges on the show. Who the hell are we kidding?
Yeah.
We're all Georges.
Costanza.
Come on.
Can't stand you.
Well, I was just hoping that I wasn't the Kramer.
See, I don't know. I could probably handle that part.
That was my best. That was my best Kramer impression. Here, you get ready.
What was it?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all I got.
As he walks into the door.
All right.
But anyway, so introduce away, Ira. Go what you were doing before.
Yeah, I got to do it. You know what it is, because we might have like one person who doesn't know who we are. Everybody, welcome to Saturday's Cup of Joe. Our show is unscripted, and so is our guest list, because for the very first time ever last week, we had a guest. And sorry, I forgot to turn my sound off. We had a guest last week, Jason Ricks. He is the director of operations for Buc-ee's with a Y''S, not an EES. If you guys are familiar with that in Texas, then you'll understand. Everywhere else, like, yeah, whatever, it's Buc-ee's. Okay. So, but that's what he does. And he was on last week. Well, he's back on this week too. Now, if you're not familiar with Joe and I's show, we do this every Saturday. What was it, like a month ago? We started doing, well, it started as an experiment. Let's just see how it goes.
I don't know. Was it a month ago? I thought it was longer than a month ago.
I don't know. I'm really bad at this stuff. So anyways, however long ago it was, 6 weeks ago, a month ago, something like that. We decided to go on Clubhouse.
Oh, Clubhouse. Sorry.
Yeah, an hour before the show, and do an hour green room. Because typically what would happen, in full disclosure, like I would call Joe, or actually Joe would probably send me a text like 30 minutes to the show. And basically the point of the text was, hey, Ira, are you up yet? But he didn't say it like that, which is
no, I didn't. I go like this. Hey, I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go when you are, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm in bed. I'm no coffee yet, so leave me alone. But now it's great because we're on Clubhouse at 8:00 my time, which is too dang early because I worked last night. I worked till 1:30 in the morning. Okay, so we started at 8:00. I got out of bed at 7:55, and Joe knows exactly what I did. I put some clothes on, 30 seconds, and I went down to my coffee pot And I poured that Saturday.
And you peed into the coffee cup.
I peed into the cup. That's what it sounds like when he's on.
It did especially when you're on Clubhouse and you're listening to him. So yeah, that's what happened. That was last week. Yep.
Yeah. I'm Ira. If you want to know who Ira is, really, I'm not afraid to show my warts. Like I'm raw and real. That's why I never worry about like if somebody comes over or like my wife and I were on our show last night. 8 is Enough. We basically just flirted with each other, caught up. The whole episode, it wasn't about nothing but just me catching up with my wife. And then what's funny is I looked at the views after. So for any of you who come on my show, I always look at the analytics when we're done because I want to know how we did.
Right.
And it helps us shape future episodes. Really is the reason. It's not like I care if I got 10 less viewers or 1,000 more viewers. I don't care about that. We try to figure out, well, we were talking about this at this time and people were interested or not. That's really what we're doing. So last night, Joe, the curve was like just the whole way. We didn't lose anybody.
Oh, that's good.
People were interested in, it was a show.
They were interested in you flirting with Alicia.
Apparently.
That's some good stuff.
We were talking about our vacation. Did you see one of the big things for us this week is my wife earned a trip to Cincy. It's one of the reasons why she does it. Well, it was a 5-day full paid vacation to Disney World and special access to the park after the park is closed. Then they open it up just for the group. And they do that all the time for groups, in case you didn't know that. That's one of the reasons why they close when they close, because they have after stuff. So it's a big deal, but we've already done that with Cincy before because she's been doing this for 5 years now. So she earned something like that the first year she was in. So the cash buyout for what she earned was $2,400. And so I said, hey, why don't we just take the cash this time and go on like a nice cruise, you and me, top of a boat in a balcony and sunsets. That sounds glorious. So we're going to go to the Bahamas instead for a week.
Oh.
And we're going to take the cruise is going to go out of Baltimore, which is, I was born in Baltimore. That's really rough to anybody, but that's where I was born. So we're going to spend a couple extra days. We're going to go visit the house where my grandparents lived in Baltimore. And then we're going to go to Washington, D.C. for a couple days before we go on the cruise. So we were talking about that.
That is awesome. I know my wife and I were just talking because for myself, I won a trip. I didn't want to go on the cruise. I took a buyout for that. So we're going to go trace the Stepke family roots.
Oh, there you go.
And yeah, we're going to trace the Stepke family roots. And believe it or not, supposedly the Stepkes, our last name was Stepka. And my great, no, I'm kidding. My great grandmother, Anna Stepka, was a witch.
I believe it.
Yeah, supposedly that's what it was. She was a witch. And she came from Poland.
Right in. He gets it. This is what I do to Joe all the time, by the way. Like if you didn't know that I love Joe, you'd think that I hate Joe.
Well, I was only being facetious on the cashing in thing. I was just trying to make a joke about my grandmother, my great grandmother being a witch or whatever. And from South Milwaukee, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact.
Hello, Milwaukee.
Yeah, there's so many stories out there about like what she's done and
you name that
stuff.
show?
It's like old family folklore type stuff, but good. So I hope she was a good witch. I don't think she was a bad witch. I have no idea.
She had to be a good witch.
Yeah, she had to be a good witch. She was like Glenda the Good Witch from Wizard of Oz. No, I'm kidding.
That's where I was going.
I don't know.
This is how my brain works, guys. When you say something, it triggers as something I've seen in a movie or show, and then I'm going to respond to it that way and totally sidetrack whatever the hell you're trying to say.
Exactly.
Like Hello, Milwaukee. Yeah, Joe's been doing this with me a long time, guys. He's not going to do that.
I Love Milwaukee was that 70s show. Am I right?
You are right.
Hello,
Red.
Cleveland.
Because
Hello,
I
Cleveland
am
was the
Red.
Jim Carrey show.
Do you know the dad in that show? That's me. That is exactly who I am, dumbass.
I think all dads turn out that way.
My wife
later
would
in life.
really be the wife. I forget her name because it's not as important to me because it's not.
Kit.
Yeah, Kit. Yeah,
Cat.
Yeah, something like that. No, you're right.
Like that.
anyways, that could be Alicia. So there you go.
Yep. So,
Jason,
but anyways,
Jason, welcome to the show, man. We're 10
Hey.
minutes. We haven't even let you say hello yet. So sorry, we're
Hey,
bad.
I'm just sitting here loving hearing about Joe and the Witches and Milwaukee, George Costanza. I mean, we've covered. I feel like we've covered all the '90s in about 10 minutes. Like we got it.
we didn't cover all of them.
Bro,
I got some more.
We run sometimes really fast in the show, and you got to keep up. And then other minutes, like I'm on the Electoral College, and Joe's like, "Get off this topic," and I'll park there for an hour.
Oh my gosh, I still remember that. And then we went on to the views, and I'm going like this. You gotta be kidding me! Why would you even talk about it?
A vein exploded Joe's forehead. Let's talk.
My father a long time ago taught me there is things you don't talk about.
And
there's three things. You don't talk about sex with anybody. You don't talk about sex, religion, and politics.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to also. You're also not supposed to talk about money too. You're not supposed to ask people how much they make.
How much money do you make, Joe? Yeah.
None of your business. Anyways, like you don't know. We've talked about that before.
Not he doesn't make enough.
But anyways, and then he starts talking about the politics side, and I'm just going. He
tells that story a lot, though.
Yeah, I do. I share that because it was so fun. It was a great story. Not in the moment for Joe, but it's fun to laugh about it now.
Yeah, it's fun to laugh about it, but it was almost like
talking about. Okay, just to be clear, I was not talking about the merits of Republican or Democrat. I was just talking about how the system.
Here we go. Enough. We're not doing it.
Hey, Joe, why did they change it from Stepka to Stepke again? Tell me that.
Oh, well, I don't know why they changed it from Stepka to Stepke. I don't know.
Well, I'm guessing it's because they wanted to get away from the stigma of the witch, right?
I don't think so. I don't know. I've only heard somebody
more American. I mean, Stepke doesn't sound any less foreign than Stepka, right?
No, it doesn't. I don't know why it didn't. I know that her son, Felix. So Felix, it had to happen there, I think, because Felix became a Stepke and a Stepka. They might have made a mistake on the birth certificate or the certificate when she came over.
That actually that's just as plausible as anything else. Because
right.
You were changing it. Like a lot of people changed their name when they came over. My family included, my wife's family included, right? So almost wherever you were from in Europe or Asia, when you come over, I mean, we all have our family.
I think a lot of them did it to change the signify the new start, if you will, to leave all that back where it was. You know what's interesting about that conversation though is that my wife recently did one of those like 23andMe, ancestry DNA kit things, and let's just put it this way: there's some forks in the road back of 1-2 generations that have raised some real eyebrows for us that things may not have been what they were sold as being, as far as who there was no Maury Povich show to say you are the father, and so there's some weird stuff that happened 1-2 generations removed where the lineage that she knew of is not her lineage, and so that's so it's just been very interesting.
I've heard some fun stories about this where people are getting their DNA tested, you know what I mean? And then it's like, okay, well, here's what you are. They break it down, and it's totally different than just like what Jason was saying. You think you're like a Scottish Russian or something, and then you turn out to be like a German, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, and my father and I talk now. One of the memories I have of my father when I was in the military, and this is back in, I believe, 1990. It was either 89 or 90. I got out. I was on leave, and him and I went to South Milwaukee to retrace our steps. And we thought it was great. We went to some of the places on people that had the same last name. Think of it this way. We knocked on people's doors out there just to introduce ourselves. Hey, my name's Joe Stepke. I'm in the military. Show them my ID. Show my dad. We're just out retracing steps. If you may know where Anna Stepka lived or whatever. And it was fun for me and my dad to go do that. Well, anyways, we go to this one person's house, knock on their older gentleman, could have been like old enough to be my grandfather, whatever. But he opened up and I start looking at him, going like this, oh my God, it's my dad when he's older. I mean, the guy looked, he had the same nose and everything, and I'm going like this. So he invited us in, and he has his pictures of his kids like on the wall. And there's a girl in there that looked like my brother, had my brother's face and everything on there. I was going, I'm sure we're related. We just don't know how.
Right.
Because Stepke's not a real popular name. But it was a fun trip for us. But the thing I would tell you what was more exciting when I learned more about during that time that I was on leave for the military, I learned more about Anna Stepka at that time than I ever did. It's and this is what it was told. I'll tell you guys the same thing. She was an actual witch. She had something. I forgot this whole story, but there was something where if she gives anybody any money, it comes back to her like tenfold. So if she gives something to someone, the money comes back. Well, the story goes that Felix and them were. You just changed the view? Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I was looking at this thing and I'm going, what does it? I've never picked that. I'm like, what does that look like? I think it makes it look better, but. So
Felix and them were driving from, like, they saw her and they were driving to Evanston, where my family is from. They were moving to Evanston, Illinois. And there was some sort of car accident. And the money Anna gave Felix as a kid, or whoever it was, Felix or I can't remember who had it. He had it in his hand. Well, they got into an accident, and I guess however it happened, he was out of the car, and the money fell out of his hand, but the money was rolling back up towards, South Milwaukee, where Anna was. Like the money was following, and I was like,
it was trying to go back home.
Yeah, I was trying to go back. Yeah, I was trying to go back home or something like that. I thought it was just, there's so many stories on there.
Yeah, it's an interesting story anyways. I mean.
Yeah, and my grandfather and his brother, my grandfather was very lucky. He was very, like any like carnival games or whatever, he would win all that stuff. I don't know why we wouldn't try it on the lottery, but maybe they didn't have it back then. I don't know. And his brother used to read, Uncle Sylv used to read tea leaves and be able to predict things too. It was just interesting stuff. I don't have any of it. If I do, it's by fluke and I don't know. So,
all right. In full disclosure, that kind of stuff scares the bejesus out of me.
Are you being serious?
I'm really serious. Like, I don't what's the game, the Ouija board?
Ouija board,
like all that stuff, like fortune telling.
We don't mess with that. I am Catholic. We don't talk about that stuff.
Like I'm just saying, like for me personally, I'm not trying to judge anybody's beliefs. You do what you do, I'll do me. But for me, like I stay away from all that stuff because I'm like, I know my wife and I, we watch the scary, like the ghost stories. But I didn't mean to. But I'm just talking about for myself.
Gotcha. But like the ghost stories and all that other stuff, like you see on YouTube.
I'm fascinated by all that stuff.
Nuke's top 5 is what my wife watches all the time. I don't like watching that stuff at all. Batman being afraid of ghosts. Well, that's one thing I physically can't fight, but whatever. Well, my wife will watch it. And I remember one time somebody was talking about like a Ouija board, and my kids, like one of our teenage kids came up, and we had that stern talk with them. You never bring one into our house ever. And 2, you never touch it. Yeah. Because you never know who you're going to conjure up or talk to or whatever.
Think if you say, hey, you're welcome here, they're going to come hang out. And if
you're
not welcome here, maybe they'll go where they're welcome. I don't know if that works.
I don't know how it works, but some of that stuff, some of those videos, it makes you wonder if some of it's real or not. The other day, my wife was watching one, and it was in Spanish. What?
Yeah, let's talk about this for a second. I fully believe that stuff is real. So most of you know I'm a Bible believer, and again, I don't want to get into religion here, but I'm a Bible believer. The Bible talks about demons. What are demons?
Yes, demon. I get that, the demons, but some of the stuff that they record, I'm not saying. Listen.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Obviously, it's hard to be dogmatic. What do I mean by that? It's hard to say this is really what it is, but I do believe there's something, is what I'm trying to say. So,
right.
I agree with you. People who believe in ghosts and all that stuff, I don't think they're crazy. I think that there's something to it. I don't believe in little green men living in, planets undiscovered. I don't believe in that. But I do.
You got to be kidding! Listen, I'll debate that all. We're gonna believe in the demons. You're not gonna believe in life on other worlds.
Where is that in the Bible?
What?
That's why I believe it. But I'm just telling you, this is why. This is the genesis of why.
So many planets out there. There has to be other life out there.
I don't know that.
I
don't know that. I would be fascinated by it, actually, because I don't know where that would.
Let's go to Area 51. I heard that's the new destination.
So Area 51, you can't go visit. I grew up in.
Are you sure? I heard everybody you can go visit.
Yeah, if you go there, they'll shoot your ass. So don't. I saw that people, when that whole thing was going on, and people were like, we're going to storm the fields. I'm like, good luck beating. Anyways.
I was actually feeling, I was hoping somebody would run out of there with a lightsaber.
Yeah, they have minefields and fences. You wouldn't even see a person. You'll be dead before you even see a person. You're not going to get in Area 51. That's so top secret. Anyways, they guard that sucker. Trust me, they guard that sucker. You're warned well in advance not to go anywhere near it. You're not even allowed to go to the fence. But the reason why I believe what I believe is because I believe what the Bible says, and I know that's not for everybody. And again, I'm not trying to talk religion here. I don't care if you're Catholic, Presbyterian, Baptist. I don't care if you are Muslim or Jewish or anything else. That I'm not debating that. I'm just saying for me, that's where my beliefs come from. So when people ask me about ghosts, I go, well, I can see ghosts have to be, and I know we're calling it ghosts, right? But I believe that they're spirits, and the spirits are angels and demons. It talks about that. It talks about, Elijah and open his eyes, right? And then he could see the angels that were there. Well, those I believe are spirits. So there's good ones and bad ones. That's what I believe. But I've read the Bible cover to cover many, 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 many times. Most of you probably don't know this, but I have a bachelor's degree in the Bible. Okay. So I've studied the Bible more than most people, is what all I'm trying to say. Nowhere in there. It references dinosaurs. It references unicorns. It does not reference aliens. Now, does that mean they don't exist? No, it does not. Would it make the Bible untrue if aliens do exist? No, it would not, because it doesn't say either way.
Right.
So the reason why I don't believe that they're there is because I don't know where they would fit in the creation story. I just don't know how that would fit. So that's why. It's not that it's impossible. No, it's not impossible. And would it be super cool? I think it actually would be amazing.
I know. I'm waiting for the sand speeder. I'm waiting for the lightsaber. A way to transport me from here to California, like that.
And sometimes people will go like, well, how did they build the pyramids and stuff like that? Which is interesting as all get out. That could be aliens coming from a different place and helping with the technology, and how do we get some of these things? Like, that'd be super cool. And true. I would be, me, I'm a tech geek. Like, I would be all about it. But that's so when people ask me like, well, how did you come to opinion on this and your opinion on that? My foundational thought, I trust in a one creator, right? I believe in the book. And so where my limited mental capacity is what it is, I'm not very smart. Okay. So I default to what the Bible says. If it says it, I believe it. And if you don't like that, that's fine. You do you. But so for me, that's where when people, so because some people in the religious community would go, well, ghosts aren't real. Well, do you believe in the Bible? Because the Bible talks about demons and angels.
No, that's not what I meant. When you watch some of these videos, and man, that's how come I forgot who it was.
Do you trust your eyes, Joe? When you watch a video, do you trust it?
No, not all the time. But when you watch,
I manipulate your videos, right? I mean,
listen, calm down there, killer. I get the whole manipulate. Out of anybody, I know that it can be done.
Yeah.
I'm just saying some of the videos where people would swear up and down that they're real, it just makes you wonder, well, could it be? Now, I have seen stuff where they couldn't debunk it.
UFOs are real. What is a UFO?
Unidentified flying object.
Okay. UFOs are real because the thing that people forget about is we have top secret stuff happening. Our military is flying planes right now that the media doesn't even have information on. They're actively flying them. That's, you talk about Area 51. Did you know Nevada is 90% owned by the United States government, by the government? The reason why they own that state, and they're never going to let that state go, all that land. First of all, you wouldn't really want to live there, because if you ever go drive through the middle of Nevada, it is desert wasteland, right? And literally there's nuclear waste buried in the sand. Anyways, I digress. But another reason is because they fly stuff in those deserts. Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Vegas. Nevada, when you live in those states, you see stuff and you go, oh crap, that's a UFO. Well, it is a UFO. It's an identified flying object. The question is, where did it come from? That's the thing that people forget about. So when you see some of these videos with stuff flying in the air and supersonic speeds and all that stuff, I'm not saying that that's necessarily been edited. That could be real. So I do agree that this is just where, I don't believe it's from Sector 6, whatever you fill in the cosmic destination. I believe it's from.
I would use.
I believe it's from, like Nellis Air Force Base, just an example.
Gotcha.
Origin point.
Well, looking at some of the ghost ones that they do, and man, they are.
And all that, my diatribe on Ghost and Demon, we didn't lose a single person.
No, I know. I've been watching. Probably gain a couple too out of this. But on one of those videos that they had, there was. I mean, I saw the guy panning around, and then he was by himself, and then there was like a shadow creep. That freaks me out because I bet you that stuff is true. The one that I saw yesterday, or was it the day before? But it was in Spanish. The guy's calling out. They were looking down like a hallway, and the little kids with them too.
Talking about ghosts?
Are you
talking about ghosts or UFOs? Or
ghosts. Because
the other one, and we haven't brought this in, but the other one, some of these videos are really fascinating. And Jason, anytime you want, just jump in, brother. Bigfoot. Some of those videos are like, whoa.
Yeah, but I know he exists.
There's something there, and that's not a dog. There was
that's not a dog. That's my long lost brother. Yeah, he's 7 foot something. He hasn't shaved in a while. He walks a little hunchback. You should see him.
And he hides every time.
He does that right. So that's him. So yeah, that's real.
Well, I still believe Harry and the Hendersons. I think that they released Harry out into the wild, and that would explain that. So,
oh my God, I love that movie.
I have
John Lithgow did such a great job with that.
You guys do you remember your dreams? Like when you wake up, do you remember them?
Yeah. Do you dream in black or white or color, Ira?
I dream in color, but
wait a minute. Is there something to that, Jason?
Well, I dream in color, and but they say that certain people dream in black and white, and I got to be honest with you, I haven't met a person yet that dreams in black and white. So
I'll bet you that was more common when TV was black and white, and the movies were black and white. I'll bet you that was more common. Just because. But
I remember my dreams, and I'll tell you, there's times where I kind of could understand where they would have come from. There's times where it's so out there and off the wall that you're like, where the hell did that come from?
Well,
I have those dreams.
That's where I was going to go. I was going to go with that. I was going to wrap all this up together. I've had dreams about being abducted by aliens, and I've had this dream recurring. It's like some dreams you have over and over again. You know what I mean? And it plays out a little different.
So what did the alien look like that abducted you?
So that's the thing. I never actually.
Oh, and I'm sure, Ira, did they probe you too?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I figured that one.
That's the dream. That's the dream. I'm like on the operating table. So,
and let me guess, were you 16 years old when you were having this dream? And I believe it's called nocturnal emission.
No. Yeah. No.
Does anybody remember that term, nocturnal emission?
I know exactly.
Or is it just me?
Yeah,
Jason didn't even let. That's a wet dream.
It's a wet dream. He's talking about rubbing.
See, no, Jason didn't get it. You did, but all right, that's all right.
Yeah, I have teenage boys.
So yeah, I know. That's how
sorry, man. Watching. We just lost everybody. Yeah, we really did.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, they just went down.
But no, in this one, it started when I was a kid. It started when I was like 5 or 6 or something. And I've had it a couple times, but that's not the one I really want to talk about. Although it's interesting, but that one I don't know a lot about it. I just like I'm laying on a table and it's bright lights. I don't see anybody, but it's really bright, and then I'm back in my bedroom when I wake up. But the other one, I'm like, I've never lived. So you guys know I've lived in different parts of the country, right? But I've never lived in like the Arkansas area. But in this dream, I live in a place I don't even know if it is Arkansas, but it's like Arkansas. I've been through it. It's like the Ozarks, kind of, very wooded and the fall colors. I've never lived in a place that looks like that ever. And it's kind of like a cabin type of a deal, like a red cabin. I mean, I could describe this place because I've been there in my mind a bunch of times throughout my life. I am living in a place with people I don't know, and I get awakened. It's right after sunrise, but it's early in the morning, and I get waken up by this Saskatchewan Bigfoot thing, and I can understand it somehow, like telepathically. I can understand it. We don't talk, but like I can communicate with it into my mind, and we go outside and we explore. Doesn't hurt me. I'm not afraid of it. Weird. But anyways, I've had that dream. I would estimate I've had that dream 50, 60, maybe even 100 times in my life over the course of my life. Is that weird? I have no idea. Like
maybe you're gonna discover Bigfoot.
Yeah, you don't know where it comes from. Like, where the heck did that dream come from? And why does my mind like it so much? Because obviously it does, because I keep going back to it. But it's like a comfort dream. It's like my pizza. I don't know.
That's crazy.
So some psychologist out there is totally thinking I'm the world's biggest wacko now, and that's fine. But that's a dream that I remember.
Sorry, I'm trying to get my.
I just killed the show. That's the first.
I was going to tell you a while ago, you had when you were playing around with the pictures, I'm glad I can remember this joke because I thought it was hilarious. So, and you had the big screen and you had me and Joe on the right side in like little boxes. Yeah, that view. And you're like, yeah, I think that's the perfect view. For some reason, the Tenacious D, Jack Black, when he's like, well, I told you to do the bendy thing, like he was taking credit for writing the song. And, he did that with, I can't remember what the guy's name is, but Tenacious D is hilarious. The comedy in it is just.
Jack Black is one of the funniest people on the planet, in my opinion. So
yeah, I love him. He so
for
all those watching
that, a call came in, and so my phone picked up on my AirPods.
So you couldn't hear us?
No. So then it went out. So then I'm trying to, because I kept, putting them.
Yeah.
Never mind. I should have turned my phone completely off, but I don't know if that would be possible or not. I don't know.
It's all good.
So where did we leave? I last I heard was Ira's having dreams.
we covered a lot of ground since the joke.
You missed the whole thing?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Damn them. I wanted to hear about this.
I do that to my wife all the time. She's like talking and I don't hear a thing she's saying. And then she asks me a question, follow up, and I'm like, huh? And she's like, you didn't hear any of that?
Well, look what you did to me today. I'm telling you did that to me on Clubhouse. Because really, I wasn't, I wasn't feeling hot. I wasn't talking.
I didn't pick that up, bro.
I know you didn't. I get it, but I was also doing stuff on LinkedIn, and then hey, I'm going to let Joe take this one. So guess what I had to do? I had to tap dance.
Oh, dang it! Okay,
and
I didn't realize that.
I thought it sounded pretty good.
You did good. That was Denrich that asked that question.
I know, and I talked to him, and I heard when he was talking, I was listening. It was instinctive. I was listening to something, but I wasn't expecting you to go, hey, I'm going to let Joe take this one.
Well, hey, you create. Wait, no, Alicia created the hashtag Let Joe Speak. I mean,
I know.
I was just trying to follow the instructions.
Right. I just I could.
There are weeks when I've noticed this in the room. There's weeks where it feels like you're the primary. You know what I mean? Which is I don't mind, and I don't think you mind either. But it is. It seems like in that room, in this room, we pretty much do 50-50. At least I try to do that. But in that room, it feels like there's a week where you're going to lead it. And then there's a week that I'm going to lead it kind of. So like today I was trying to do more 50-50.
Well, and you know, it's funny you say that. I read a book this week and it was talking about extroverts when people like these Zoom calls and everything else that go on. There's a reason why people don't like meetings.
Yeah.
Like in business meetings or whatever, because sometimes you'll get an extrovert to just take over in there. And I was thinking about this, and funny thing on the coffee break with Liz, you know, like how Liz Jones does coffee break.
Yeah, she's having me on her show March 5th. If anybody wants
to. Power Behind the Man.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's gonna be 9 a.m. March.
First guest.
Yeah, I know.
I thought that was awesome.
I see her posts. Yeah. I actually animated her logo for her.
I know you said that, yeah. But anyways, when I'm on hers now, you wouldn't know about her Thursday one because during the Thursday, like when she does her Thursday,
your way roundtable,
you got exit your way, and so you wouldn't see that. But sometimes when I go on, and even when I do a quick hi in there,
that's where the bat came from, right?
What? Yeah, that's where the bat came from. Yeah.
You want to?
Because it was me, Paula.
You want me to show everybody? You want me to show everybody that?
No.
We can bring that up. No?
I don't care. Go ahead.
It's free advertising. You know what it is.
Yeah, free advertising. Joe the Bat Guy.
Oop, I picked on Job Ready today. I'm not going to find your stuff in that folder. I love Curtis. I miss Curtis, man. It seems like he's busier than he's been because I don't see him as much.
His posts usually go out first thing in the morning. I'm trying to... Oh my gosh, I forgot.
Well, what I've had to do because I've changed my strategy and I'm not in any of the here, put your links here anymore rooms. So I'm like,
are we allowed to talk about that?
Well, we can to a certain extent. We can't talk about the strategy behind it. But anyway, so, you know, some of my friends, just in case any of you guys don't know, I have a large network. So some of my friends, I'd set up these rooms and say, hey, when you post, just share the link to your post in these rooms. That way I can go in once a day or something and make sure that I'm commenting. But I left all of those. And so I'm not in those anymore.
Yeah. And it's hard to, when you do that, it's hard to go back unless you have.
Yeah. I'm kind of actually regretting it in a sense because I miss seeing some of your posts. So anyways, this is Liz Jones did this, right?
Yeah. Liz Jones did that one.
I think she did. So
Master Sensei.
Joe is Batman. In case you guys didn't know this. And so
I was talking. All right. So let me tell you what happened. I was on the phone. Well, I was in that meeting and then somebody called me just like somebody called me just now. So I go like this. Well, hold on a minute. Let me take this call really quick. I thought they were doing whatever they wanted. So then I just got up and I started talking because they were asking me questions. And when somebody starts asking me a question, I think better when I'm walking around. I don't know.
This is the one I love.
Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine. I love those.
Anyway.
So you think better with your bat, kind of like Tom Cruise when he was what's that? Few Good Men, where he's got the ball bat.
Yeah,
you can't handle the truth.
No, that was Jack Nicholson, but whatever. Anyways, but Tom Cruise.
That was that movie.
Bat
You're so mean.
What?
You big bully.
I am not. I do the same thing to you that you do to me. Well, hold on a minute.
Hey, I can dish it, but I can't take it.
He's getting the bad.
No,
he's
I'm
going
not
to beat us.
there's two things that I'll grab.
I love it.
If I'm talking to somebody and I'm in my office, I'll grab these. And
what do you mean you don't want to sign the deal? Walk into a meeting with those.
What do you mean you don't want to sign that? But
right.
I love these. These are just.
What are they made out of, Joe?
Yeah, I was actually just going to say they're plastic, not metal.
No, they're wood.
Oh, they're wood. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, I think they're wood.
Here we go. Live, baby.
Of these. Yeah, that's just awesome. I love all my props that I have. So
I do too.
Don't you know, when everyone tuned in this morning, they said, man, I really hope Joe whips out the Wolverine.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know what? We did an episode.
Finish that sentence. I hope Joe rips out the Wolverine claws.
Yeah, let's not talk about Nocturnal Dreams now. One episode we did, I don't know, it was like 20 minutes. We had him walk around the Batcave because, for those of you who don't know, if you're not familiar with Joe's setup, it's not just the room he's in. The room outside the door is actually larger, right?
Yeah, the room outside the door is.
It's not decked, floor to ceiling with the comic book character boxes, but he's got video games out there, and his son hangs out there in a gamer chair, like when I'm sitting in and plays games. So I told Joe,
set up in his.
I told Joe when I come to Indiana, I'm not renting a hotel room. I'm just going to sleep in his basement, because where else would you want to be? You got everything you could possibly want to do.
Arcade games.
It's got the poker table.
Yep.
We're going to play poker.
What is it called?
Poker, right?
Oh, yeah, the poker table, yes.
Poker. Yeah,
I'm thinking about buying one of these for my man cave. I'm thinking about buying one of these. They have a thing here called the Nebraska Furniture Mart. It's ginormous. They built a huge one in Frisco, Texas, but it's an NBA Jam game. It's, the kind of stand up. And me and my friends, we would spend, I don't even want to know how much money we put into those machines when we were kids. And I was at the mart. We were looking at a treadmill for my wife and we bought it last weekend, and I saw this and I'm like, I have to have this. And so like I sat there and played the game for like 20 minutes until she finally said she'd had enough, and we had to go. But I'm a nerd like that with the old nostalgia stuff. It just takes me back to when I was a kid.
Right. That's the reason why I got the arcade games down there. And that's an interesting story. It started, I took the family on spring break. We went up north to Michigan City, Indiana. I think it was Michigan City, Indiana. And we went up there, and I met with, I went to the Superhero Hall of Fame up there. They have one, or Hall of Heroes is what it's called. And Alan Stewart is like the curator, owner of it, and did everything. And he gets all this movie memorabilia. So I'm up there with Alan, and we're talking because I've been up there a couple times and I've met him, and we're friends on Facebook. And my wife and kids were all looking around. He has the car. I don't know if you remember the movie Iron Man, the first one, where the first demo slammed on one of the Porsches or Ferrari or whatever that is, the blue one. He has that car in there where you could lay on it and take a picture. He also has Ghost Rider's bike, all sorts of stuff. So anyways, they're in there looking around, and that's where I got my my arc, the Iron Man arc, the actual movie memorabilia, Iron Man arc, like proof that Iron Man has a heart, one that's in the box that Pepper Potts put in the box. I have one of the original ones, and he sold it to me because it didn't work. And he thought it was broken, and he didn't want to sell it to me. They usually go for about $3,000. I bought it for half that, and it's an actual Marvel movie memorabilia prop. Next thing you know, I got home and I took out the batteries and got it to work. Anyways, my wife came down and she was talking about, I said, did you see that X-Men video game up there? And it's the old one with like where you could have 4 people around it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. I love that game. And I go like this, did you see it? She goes, yeah. I go, I've been wanting one. She goes, man, I was going to get you one for your birthday. And then she left. And I looked at Alan. I go, you know what she just did? She gave me permission to buy an arcade game. You don't know it yet, but she did give me permission because I did say, well, I'll take care of that because I'll find it. Well, I found a newer version. Somebody made it for me. And that's what we got out there. And then I got an old arcade game, or arcade version with Donkey Kong, Frogger, all them. But the one that's not the one you buy at Walmart, it actually stands up. It's an actual sized arcade game. Arcade Rescue 911 in Indianapolis. They do it. And they also have Joe the Finance Guy if you're looking
Come on, baby.
Thing.
A little free promo.
We can give promo for Arcade Rescue. But anyways, I got it from them. And it brings so much nostalgia back. My wife and I played Frogger for hours. You know, just down there, just playing it. I thought it was cool. But I'm only getting one more arcade game for the Batcave, and it's going to be a shooting game. And I love shooting games. You know, like
they're awesome.
See, I want to get a pinball, Joe. So there's some old, like I remember the Addams Family was one of my favorite pinball machines.
They have those at Arcade Rescue. That's what he actually specializes in.
Yeah, the pinballs.
You may have to connect me on that.
They're a lot more than the arcade ones.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I know that they're expensive, but I want a pinball machine. It was something that I enjoyed doing, and I've always wanted to get one, and now I have the resources to do it, so I'm going to do it.
If I did, it would have been that he had a Deadpool one there that I liked. And I would have got it just for Deadpool. Would I have played it? Probably not. I would get more enjoyment out of the shooting game because I love, not that I love guns, but I love to shoot. So
the artwork and creativity on those pinball machines and like how they made them and everything. As a kid, I didn't appreciate the genius behind. You know what I mean? I mean, those things
you're just playing the game, right? You're just playing the game.
Yep. And it's awesome. I'm telling you, I would do the same thing, Jason. That's good choice. If you could do it, I'd do it. So good choice.
You were talking about Ghost Rider, and it made me think of the work I was doing last night. Did you guys see these yet?
Yeah, I saw the one that you had put up on your Facebook page. I thought, you did a great job on that photo shoot. I know that you've got the contest going on for the LA area there for doing a free photo shoot.
Sorry, I gotta give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. My granddaughter's leaving. Hold on 1 minute.
Yep, no problem. So I don't know. Hang on a second. I'm gonna pull up the picture. So I started the guy's in front of his garage. Here's the base picture. This is the photo that I shot. But sometimes, and we were talking about this on Clubhouse. Like I like to capture, but I really like to capture so that I can create. And so what I did, just in full disclosure, is I went to Pexels and I downloaded some backgrounds. But I opened this photo up in Photoshop and I clear out, a big chunk of what's behind him. In this case, you can see what I clear out is the where'd it go? It's the garage door. I just took all this out. So like you can do this pretty quickly with a magic wand if you just want to do it roughly, but I don't use the magic wand because it makes stuff really jagged when you look at it. So I go in and actually do it manually. And it takes a long time. It took me over an hour to clean this out. But I clean out all the stuff between the spokes, between the wires. And if you zoom in, like if I go to this photo, I'm not trying to show these. I'm trying to show this one. Like if I go to one of these and pull this up, and I'll do that right now, you can see that as deep as I go, it's clean. There's nothing choppy or, you know what I mean? Like I take it as far as you can to the individual pixel level and clean them out. And so when I do that, then I can download any photo, or I can take photos that I have. Like I'm going to the beach. I'm going to go to Newport Beach as soon as we jump off this call. I'm going to, I've got to do some personal care stuff because I don't know if you caught it, but I got up, 5 minutes before the show started. So I've got to like brush my teeth and, that kind of stuff. But then
personal hygiene update. That's
yeah, I've got to do that stuff. You got to take care of your teeth. If you don't take care of your chiclets will fall out. So I gotta take care of my chiclets. Maybe put on some deodorant, stuff like that. Anyways, I digress. But then I'm going to go to Newport Beach and I'm going to shoot a bunch of, like I'm not shooting a target per se. I'm going to shoot background photos. So then I can use those in these types of images. So I'll get some like for example, he's on. If we go back, I don't know if this is interesting to people or not, or if it's just me being boring. So
don't worry, we just lost a couple of them, so we're down to 7.
Yeah, we're down. Okay,
we get to 5.
Maybe they're not interested, but like him being on the pavement doesn't work with every picture. So you have to kind of find, like if you're looking for stock photos to do this, you kind of have to find stuff that will look natural, or at least natural-ish. But anyways, this is why I got into, when people, like we were talking about that conversation, why do you do what you do, and what is it that you do? Like I like to capture photos and videos. This is why I was talking about facetiously talking with Joe earlier about manipulating the videos. Of course, he knows I can do that. I do that for him and all my clients.
Yep.
I like that part of it. Joe will tell you, like, I don't like to just put up any photo or any video that I just shoot raw and put it. I don't do that with anything. Like I probably over manipulate, if it's truth be told, on all this stuff, because that's the part that I enjoy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why I got into all that. But when you were talking about Ghost Rider,
that was a perfect part.
I was thinking about him in his motorcycle climbing or is that the Punisher?
Yeah, no. You're right. The Punisher. If you were going to say the Punisher climbing his motorcycle, climbing up, what?
Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah,
I don't know this stuff, bro.
I know. So yeah, the Punisher is a regular human being. Frank Castle is just a regular human being who's pissed off that his wife and kids got killed.
He beat up a lot in that show. I know that.
Yeah,
the Punisher could take punishment.
Oh, he could. I like the Punisher. I really
like that. I like that show. I hope they make more of them. I like that one.
But
the one that lost me was I can't even remember now. The Iron Fist one that lost me.
Yeah, Iron Fist wasn't. Yeah. That wasn't.
Changing where they really lost me is when they started changing. Like, okay, well, you can lose it, and this person has it now, and they lose it, and now 2 people have it when it's only supposed to be 1 person. I'm like, this is. All right. Well,
I will tell you, it's funny. There was I was on Coffee Break with Liz, on there, and one of our friends on Coffee Break, she's a tutor, and she tutors people Spanish, English, Spanish, that sort of thing. And she's a mature lady, so she doesn't follow the Avengers or anything like that. She's
got better things to do.
Right? Yeah, probably. I should have said that. She's got better things to do, but she didn't know about them as much. But she was talking about it on there, and I think she said something like this. I thought she was talking about her daughter at first until I dug deeper and found out it was just somebody that she tutors. She's talking about, I met somebody's dating this person and the Avengers, and she couldn't remember his name. And I went like this, whoa. I think there were 6, 7 of us on. Stop, hold on. I'll take this one. Stop.
Yeah, our resident expert is Batman.
You met who? And then she finally told me and who the name was. And it was pretty cool. It's the Winter Soldier.
What that reminds me of? Erica Warfield and Peter Hammer. Erica Warfield was being hit on by, now I can't remember the 2 bands, but she was being hit on by somebody from like the 80s. And then Peter mixed it up, and it was somebody like at the end of the 90s. It's a funny story. If you haven't heard Erica tell it, you gotta. because Peter's a little bit younger than Erica.
She got hit on by somebody from the 80s?
She got hit on a rocker. I want to say it was somebody from like Van Halen or Motley Crue or something like that.
Oh my God.
Somebody, but yeah, it was somebody famous. So she was out. This was before she was with Peter. She was out with a girlfriend, and they wanted Erica to come over and join basically the party, and they were going to buy her meal. And she's like, well, but what about my friend? And apparently the friend they weren't interested in the friend for whatever reason. So anyway, she tells that story because it's, it's kind of flattering when you get hit on, I guess, by a famous person. It's never happened to me, so I wouldn't know. I'm just assuming there. That's me being presumptuous. But what was funny, and she tells it, I mean, Erica is a great storyteller. So she shares the story, and Peter, because he's younger, he mixed it up with somebody that was more in his generation. And when she tells you who and who, you're like, yeah, they're so different. But anyways, I'm messing up the story. So she will share and she will tell you. And when she responds, you tell her, I need to talk to her. Well, I don't need to, but I had something I was going to share with her. Anyways, I digress. So there you go.
No, that's all right. I mean, I had Princess Leia hit on me before, but there again, I think that was a nocturnal emission. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I think we all had that dream, bro.
Anything?
Han Solo.
And it was the Jabba the Hutt, Leia, right?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that was
100%.
man, that was awesome.
100%. Or when she's in prison in the first one, and Darth Vader walks in. You know what I'm talking about? That scene where she's yeah. Anyway,
did she say, Joe, you're our only hope or something?
Yeah,
Joe, save us, you're our only hope.
You didn't get my Han Solo joke there, obviously.
The greatest line in all three movies, the original three in my mind, was when she tells Han Solo she loves him. He goes, I know.
And you know what?
It's a classic.
I think Harrison Ford is awesome. He's like,
he's one of the best actors of all time.
Right.
Honestly.
I've heard like stories about other actors, like I just horrifying stories where I would have never guessed. I've talked about
you mean like their ego and stuff? Yeah,
a little bit. I mean, I met an actor. I met Patrick Stewart before at a Comic-Con. Did I ever tell you that story?
I could be a Patrick Stewart stunt double if I take my glasses off.
No, you couldn't.
Shave my beard.
Yeah, well, now shave your beard, maybe.
Yeah, I shave my beard and lose glasses, but I could be a stunt double for him.
Well, I did I ever tell you the story about me meeting him?
No. Oh yeah, you did. No, you have told me. Yeah, you told me this a long time ago.
Not on camera though.
No, you won't share that story on camera, right?
You don't think I should?
I don't think you should.
All right.
But let's just say it didn't go the way he thought it was supposed to go.
Yeah, it didn't.
It ruined. Like you have a guy built up in your mind, and
I talk about never meet your heroes.
Yeah, he had a giant needle, and he basically popped that balloon.
Yeah, that was, and I was with my kids.
Yeah,
and my wife and kids, and I understand. Seek to understand and not be seek to understand, then be understood, and put it in there. He could have bad day, whatever, but it did hurt my feelings on there. However, we met Iceman from the movies, and he was awesome. He signed something for my daughter. He took a picture with us. Lou Ferrigno, he was great too. Met him at the same time.
He's a real guy. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he is more than anything. He comes up and I went up to, my wife has the Incredible Hulk shirt on and stuff. So I'm going around and I go like this, hey, can we get a picture with you? And maybe he thought I was some sort, because I was sort of geeking out with everything. So I'm not going to say it wasn't.
No, really, you about a comic, the Hulk. Okay, we're talking about the Incredible Hulk here.
Weirdest thing ever that I was. I could act professional everywhere else and could act like I'm in control. Put me in front of one of the
how much taller
DC guys, and all of a sudden I'm like, huh.
How much taller is he than you?
He is huge. He was
He was hitting on your wife too, right?
Well, I don't think he was hitting.
Yes, he was.
He was not. He did,
Remember-
when she came up, he took the picture, and then they became friends on Facebook too. So
You remember Captain Phil from Deadliest Catch?
Captain who?
Captain Phil Harris from. Do you remember the show Deadliest Catch? You guys
No.
remember?
I do.
So Deadliest Catch was like a big show on, I think it was the Discovery Channel. And so it was a big show. We watched all of them, my wife and I. We met Captain Harris at a bar in Morgan Hill, California, just the bottom of the Bay Area, for those of you who are not familiar. So that's where we were living. We met him at a bar. He was just making a circuit. It was in the summertime. They're not crab fishing. You know, the Deadliest Catch isn't shot in June. You know what I'm saying? So he was just making his tour, and everybody's buying him free drinks, of course, as he goes around, and you know, it's just a publicity thing. So I want to meet him, but you know, he's got people all over him. So my wife says, I'll go get him. So my wife, who's I think gorgeous, goes and, you know, gets him. She does get his attention, and then she brings me over and says, my husband would like to meet you. Well, he's sitting there just flirting with her. You can see it in the pictures. We took pictures. I have pictures. I could find them.
Yeah, Lou Ferrigno did that with my wife, not like
But so Phil Harris is like excited, smiling real big with my wife, the photo with my wife, you know, because he's getting to touch her. And then there's the picture with me. And you can just like, I didn't Photoshop nothing. Like it's, and then.
Hey, Ara, I've got a great, a real quick story, if I could, like about meeting a celebrity. So, never was a huge fan of the band, but I'm sure you guys are familiar with the band Kiss, right? So, when I was in the Air Force, we often did gigs at the local arena here with security, and we would sell like their merchandise. So they would hire us. We'd come in, do their merchandise stand sales, and then we get proceeds, and we could use that towards Wounded Warrior, squadron functions. You know, we do hot dog feeds, things like that. So we're working a KISS event. You know, I was there. I'm the lead guy. And we get everything all set up. And they say, all right, we want you to put on these shirts. And so we put on these KISS shirts. And they're like, hey, we got something special. We'll be right back. I'm like, oh, my Lord, what's going to happen, right? Because something crazy happened all the time. I mean, like, we met the figure skaters when they came through. I met, you know, like Tanya Harding, all them. We met them. We met some wrestlers. But KISS was probably the one that kind of was the craziest of them all. So literally, they haven't opened the arena yet. We've got everything set up. It's about an hour before they open the doors. And I shit you not, the whole band comes out, full costumes and everything, and we meet the whole band, Gene Simmons, all of them. That's and cool. I've got pictures, and they were so gracious, and you know, they're such an edgy band, like, but the guys, they were unbelievably kind and thankful for our service, not only for being there to take care of their merchandise, but also just from a military point of view. So it's one of my favorite stories, you know.
That is awesome. I think they're great. Oh, you had to bring up that.
Well, look at this dude. Okay, look, I'm going to just show you. There's this one and there's that one. You tell me, like, he's forcing whatever that is. And look, I used to have hair. Isn't that cool? But he's like, you know what I mean? And maybe
he's like doing the glamour shot with your wife, and like with you, it's like, let's get this over with.
Yeah, I don't want to be you.
Hey, I want to go back to the KISS thing for a minute. I think that's awesome. I think they're a great band. I love We're Not Gonna Take It Anymore. I think that's just the one of their best. I think that song hit #1 for KISS. Am I right? We're not.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. KISS is great, and Gene Simmons is a good guy. Like, you know what I mean? Of course, he's a rocker. And
all right, never mind. We're Not Gonna Take It is by Twisted Sister, but anyways, nobody got that. So
that's okay, because
I got it, but I was trying to remember the name of their song, their big hit. You know, Detroit Rock City, whatever. But it was crazy, and you know, it was all the nostalgia. Like, what was wild was when they opened the doors up, like, I swear, 50% of the people who attended the concert was dressed up like their favorite Kiss guy. Like,
well,
it
of
was,
course, I think the one that they mostly dress up at, isn't it the cat?
You could keep
the drummer.
you can get Joe to wag his tongue by messing up DC and Marvel. I mean, it's so easy to get him. Anyways.
Yeah, well, yeah, but then I try to mess you guys up with something like that, and normally it's on sports. I could do it, and it's just funny.
I was gonna go there, but yeah.
Right, with sports, I could do it like that, and I think it's funny. But I try to do it with the rock thing, but I do know music. My wife, my wife, my son, they listen to all types of music. I listen to all types. It doesn't.
So I grew up listening to country music, so like I'm like the encyclopedia for country stuff. Although I don't really listen to that kind of music anymore. I mostly listen to contemporary Christian music now. I actually changed it because one day I've been driving around in Vegas. For those of you who don't know, that's where I grew up. So I'm just driving around Vegas. It was like 2008 or 9, something like that. I've got a van full of little ones, and there's a country song that comes on. It's basically about a hookup at like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. And I remember, and my kids are sitting there because we're listening to this stuff all the time, and they're singing every word. And I'm like, do I really want my kids to listen to that stuff and singing that stuff?
Okay, now listen, I got my kids.
Was that Lady Antebellum you were listening to?
Maybe. It could be Lady A now, but yeah. Probably.
I was thinking of the "Need You Now." That sounds like about.
Well, it could have been that song. I don't know if that's the song or not, but something like that. And it's like, okay. I wanted something just a little more wholesome.
Well, for me, I taught my kids.
The irony of that, I'm living in Las Vegas, and I wanted something more wholesome. That's why
I taught my kids all the words for.
We moved to Texas because I didn't want to raise my kids in Vegas anymore.
All right. Did you hear me?
I did not.
I taught my kids the song WAP.
That's real wholesome.
I thought that was good.
Your kids are old. My wife.
No. I'm talking about my grandkids. I thought that was. Is that not good?
Well, it's on TikTok, so actually
the WAP song.
Yeah. No. Mike, we don't.
See, now I don't listen to that kind of music, but I know what that is because my wife has caught my twin daughters, they're 12, trying to dance to that song because the one of them loves to dance, and they're in dance class, right? So they have to dance. So she saw her trying to like learn this,
It's not a good dance at your 12.
Whatever.
Yeah, but it's funny when I do it. I'll tell you that one.
Oh, that's what I said. Look, I said, if you're going to do it, then I'm going to do it. And we're going to do it live together. Now, that did not dissuade my 12-year-old. But my wife, flipped her lid. She's like, yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah, my wife told me no.
Yeah.
I'll shoot one right here. I'll do it. I'll go down and go like this. No, anyways. See?
You couldn't even get her excited about the line where it says, bucket and a mop,
Now, if I mop the floor, my wife that might be a good strategy. If you know what I'm saying.
Well, anyways, it's 108.
That's a way to kill it. That's a way to kill the show. Yeah, we've gone over.
It is. I'm sorry, I killed it. I did it. It's all me.
That's all good. Hey, Jason, we didn't let you talk a lot today, so I'm sorry about that. But
but if I may say, Jason, thank you very much, because I didn't know how I was doing, but I'm fine. I hope you don't mind me asking you to be here.
No, it was kind of last minute, but I'm such a supporter of you guys, and I've told y'all both that anything I can do to help. And
by the way, that package didn't show up.
What?
I don't know what happened.
So for those of you that don't know, I sent Ira.
I was getting so excited about that. I was like, "Where is it?"
This is making me upset because they changed it. So I'm wondering if it's because there's post office issues in California, because I know it made it to California and it was supposed to be delivered Thursday. Then they changed it to Friday. But Joe, what I did was I don't know. I think it was on your show with your wife, Ira, right? You and Alicia.
Yeah, we were talking about pieces.
Reese's peanut butter cups with pretzels in them, right? And he hadn't been able to find any. So I bought 5 from one of our stores and put them in a box and shipped them to him, right?
Because he wants
And
me to be fluffy. This is a guy that we commiserate being fluffy, and Joe can relate. Joe's right there with us. So like I'm trying not like I haven't had any junk food. My wife has been, I'm flying solo this whole week. I've sustained myself for 5-6 days.
Oh
now.
yeah, wait a minute. When is your wife coming back? When do they come back?
So we're still waiting for the van to get fixed. So hopefully it'll be ready on Sunday or Monday, and then they can drive down. But yeah, so I could not do my job completely I was up in the Bay Area for a week, but I had to come back. I had to get to my studio. So, I'm back. They're there still. And so anyways, breakfast, lunch, dinner, laundry, all that. It's all on me. Like almost like being a bachelor, but I'm not a bachelor and I don't want to be.
And nobody's there with you.
It's just me. It's me and the rabbit.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I didn't know that I could do it either. I'm going to tell you a real quick story. We don't have anybody watching anyway, so who cares? I'm like, what am I going to eat? Because you know what you do right before you go on a long trip. You use everything up so you don't waste stuff, right? So we did that like everybody does, I think. So when I come back, I knew there's like nothing. My wife didn't leave a freezer full of meals because this wasn't the plan. Normally, if she's going to go away, just in full disclosure, for 3 or 4 days or whatever, she will make stuff and she'll leave me instructions. She's like, okay, pull this out, put it in the oven for 30 minutes, 350 degrees, blah, 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 blah. You guys know the drill. So normally my wife will do that for me. We've done that plenty of times throughout my 21 years of marriage. Not a big deal. Well, this one is more like when I was a bachelor, because no wife instructions, no like you're gonna have this on Monday and this on Tuesday and none of that stuff. There wasn't even the groceries in the house to say, okay, well, I'm gonna take this and put it together. I had to go to the store by myself. I know there's people out there gasping, and figure out, well, what am I gonna buy and what am I gonna make? Because that was the thing. I was like, well, I'll have some chicken one day and I'll do some hamburger. Okay, well, what are you gonna eat with it? Smarty pants. So I decided to go. I do something you guys are gonna laugh, but I like it. I macaroni, and I take hamburger. I fry up the hamburger and then I mix it in, and I call it macaroni and meat. And I think
I do that too. Macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, it's kind of like
that. Yeah.
It's kind of like a hamburger helper, but it's I make it myself. So I did that, but because I don't cook, I don't know. I'm like, how many boxes do I need to make? Well, I bought one of those tubes of hamburger. It was 2 pounds. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to make 5 boxes of macaroni. I didn't think anything of it. I made the 5 boxes of macaroni.
That's a lot of macaroni.
I'm finding this out. I made 5 boxes of macaroni. I made 2 pounds of hamburger. I made it. It was actually probably still a little bit too much hamburger for the ratio. I probably should have made 6 or 7 boxes for how much hamburger I had. But anyways, I put it all in there because what am I going to do with fried hamburger otherwise, right? I have so much macaroni and meat. I haven't even eaten 25% of it yet. Like I've still got 3/4 of the stuff left. I've had it every single day. Let's say I made it Tuesday. So I've had it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I'm sure I'll have it again today. But when I was at the store, I also bought a pack. It was like one of those packs of chicken thigh things. And I bought Alfredo sauce. And full disclosure, my wife doesn't like Alfredo sauce. So I don't get that very often. So I thought, and typically when I get it, it's where at the restaurant, and I'll order like chicken Alfredo. And that's where I got this idea. I'm like, I'll get the chicken. I got eggshell noodles only because it was a bag. It was a big bag. And I'm in my mind, I'm thinking I've got to eat for a week. So I need to make sure I've got like plenty of food. And I didn't want to cook more than a couple times. So I thought I'll grill the chicken. I can boil water. Like that's not hard. So I can make the noodles. So that's what I was thinking. Like my skills, I was proud of myself, guys. Like I figured out 2 meals that I could like basically live on for a week. And then I bought, of course, the Bachelor standby, a couple of different cold cut meats and cheese. And, you guys know, like you're nodding, you already know. For the women out there, like we think sandwich for lunch and some type of noodle, pasta, simple thing for dinner. And we can survive until you get back. That's all I was thinking about. It wasn't about pleasure or, like, taking a photo shoot. Hey, you've noticed there's not been a single selfie of my food this week. Can you
make?
My wife's gonna get the
I don't know.
kiss. When I see her, she's gonna get the biggest kiss. Because I do miss her, like legitimately, I just miss her. But also, it makes you appreciate, like, they say absent makes the heart grow fonder. I know what they mean. Like, this is, and I think this is the longest we've been apart. Like,
I used to say that to my wife when I left. I go, you know what? You're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
Yeah. Well,
and that goes, you're still here.
We were talking about life insurance last night. This is how exciting our show was. We were talking about life insurance on the show.
Wait a minute, and she wasn't there with you, so you had to do it.
Yeah,
like this, like we're doing it.
Yeah. And I started out the show actually doing this because usually for most of these shows I'm by myself, and so I'm set up. But when she comes on the show, because she's here,
right,
we move stuff, and she sits, and she has the audacity to like take up my arm space and stuff, and I just always feel like I'm cramped.
Audacity, probably a wrong choice of words, but okay.
Well, I'm not smart.
It's your wife, half.
Yeah,
California, half.
Oh no, trust me. Sometimes people say, "Well, what's the secret to being married?" I said, "Have lots of kids, and then you can't afford the 50%."
No, you can't.
Figure out a way to make it work, baby. So sometimes don't give yourself any other option. That's the way you make that sucker work in the hard times.
All right, well, cue us out. I got to work.
Yeah, so I'm going to show the animations. I need to load. I didn't do that. I was supposed to do that. I'll do that right now. I need to load the one with the cool voice. I know this is this is the original version. I like the sound in this too. It just doesn't say joethefinanceguy.com. But anyways, Jason, thanks for joining us again.
Yeah, my pleasure.
If you're a fan of the beach, keep an eye out on Bowman Digital Media, because I'm going to be taking some, I think, hopefully cool photographs of the beach today, and I'll be putting those up later. So see y'all later. We'll be back if you like Seinfeld, if you like this stuff, we're going to do it again next week. In fact, we have our guest next week is going to be Chella.
Chella's next week. Yep.
Yeah. So Chella, and they're doing a money summit today. I'm interested in that. She said they've got over 100 people. I think she said 120 people there.
Yeah. Something like that.
And Chella is one of our regular moderators of the Clubhouse room. I really like Chella. She's in Southern California. Yes. And Jason, if you're going to be on that every week, we'll make you a mod. Mod too.
If you notice, I made him a mod when we were in. I made for him already because I figured. It was before I was feeling bad, but I made him because I figured you could run the room when Ira and I have to jump out because Chella can do it. So
that's why Chella. That's why we have Chella as a moderator in the Clubhouse room, is because she typically will stay there and the conversation continues. Now today everybody left, so we just closed out the room. But typically it'll go sometimes like a half hour after. And what we tell people, and if you're watching this and you want this, like if you are in the room after and we come on, I actually will typically go to your LinkedIn profile and give you a free publicity on the show. Anyways, for what that's worth, just a little bonus. So,
yep.
Jason, thank you so much. Let's do this. One more thing before we go. What's the thing you're looking forward to this week coming up? Let's end on a high note.
So for me, my birthday's this week. It's on Monday, so
is it
I made it another year. So
is it a milestone birthday?
No, it's I'll be 43. So
okay. Well, I'm going to be 44 in a couple weeks. Like
the young whippersnappers.
I know. Joe's 30, 50.
But I also just so you know, Ira, I connected with Sarah last week on Clubhouse. Remember, she was on there, and so she and I connected this week, and it just worked out. It was a weird deal to where she last minute invited me to Sam Grupa's ERP. I think it's what it is.
It's WBS Rocks is the name of the group.
Yeah.
I'm a big part of the group. I haven't been able to make it the last couple of weeks because I've been doing. I've been doing. WS Rocks is great. I met her there as well.
So I met a lot of really cool people yesterday evening. And so hopefully we'll get to connect with a number of them, through phone calls and Zooms this week and just further those relationships. So I'm looking forward to that.
Cool. Mr. Stepke, or should I say Mr. Stepka?
No, Mr. Stepke. Exciting things for me this week. Still in the process of that big one.
We haven't told you.
Enrollments. I got a lot of good things. So remember, all the views and ideas that are expressed on this show are of the finance guy and Bowman Digital.
I forgot. Wait, we got this fancy thing. I totally forgot. Sorry.
All right. The views of the shows that are expressed opinion solely of Ira Bowman, Joseph Stepke, aka Joe the Finance Guy, not of Acima Credit or of Renaissance. So.
And you don't even have to read that. As long as we display it, you're legally covered. We probably should have done that at the beginning of the show, but we didn't even talk about that stuff today, did we? So, anyways, whatever. So what are you looking forward to, Joe? You didn't answer the question.
Oh yeah. So I'm looking forward to all the good stuff that is happening for me this week.
You got deals. Yeah, you
got 7. I'm walking in with 7.
Yeah, I love it, but you got 43 more to go.
I know. I got to get 50. I get it.
You got time.
I got
one for every year.
I got
51. I am looking forward to my wife coming back. I don't care about the rest of whatever. My wife's coming back.
See, and that's probably most important.
That's very important.
It is to me, man. I will tell you what. That's my best friend. I mean, no jokes aside. She's I couldn't survive. People look at me. They look at the stuff I do. They go, "How do you do all this stuff?" You know why? Because I have the best. For me, the best partner. I couldn't have asked for a better partner. So, if you're watching, baby, hurry home. There you go. All right, y'all. We're out.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for. Yeah, that's Twisted Sister, right?
I don't know what it is. I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
I have no idea. I think that was.
Was that Aerosmith?
I don't know.
Motley Crue, baby. I don't know.
I think that's Motley Crue, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. I know people do it. So.
Poison. No. All right. We're out of here. See y'all.
All right.
BowmanDigitalMedia.com.